Hey, good morning, guys. It is June. It's not June. It's July 24th, which means we are almost the whole way through the seventh month of the year. 2025 is flying. I know it makes me sound old, but um, Chambers today is in Matthew 5. It's verse 20 that he focuses on, which must have been really disheartening or confounding to the crowds when he was preaching this sermon. So he says, "For I say to you that unless your righteousness exceeds the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you will by no means enter the kingdom of heaven." And this is where he's talking about, I didn't come to break or what does he say? He says, "I did not come to destroy the law or the prophets. I came to fulfill." And so he's talking about the law, and he's talking about the Pharisees and the way they keep the law, and he's really highlighting for new believers in this kind of new paradigm that Jesus is setting the table for, grace versus the law. He is telling them that the law is not enough, and displaying or kind of highlighting here that the law, as the Pharisees keep it, does not make them righteous, because he says to enter the kingdom of heaven, you need more than that. You need more than the righteousness of the law. And it would have been, I would assume it would have been a little bit head scratching for a lot of people. It would have been maddening for the Pharisees, obviously listening to him as well. That unless your righteousness exceeds the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you will by no means enter the kingdom of heaven. Which is really funny because they were listening to him. The scribes and Pharisees were there. They were listening to him, and you got to think, okay, he just said that we are not entering the kingdom of heaven because the righteousness that enters is more than ours. So had to be maddening. But Chambers kind of breaks it down this way, and there's a few really good highlights here. And it's grace versus the law here. He calls it disposition and deeds in the devotional. But the characteristic of a disciple is not that he does good things, but that he is good in motive because he has been made good by the supernatural grace of God. It's not what I do that makes me righteous. It's who I am, and who I am is what God has made me through the saving redemptive work of Jesus. And so it's the characteristic of a disciple is not that he does good things, but that he is good in motive because he has been made good. I didn't do it, I was made good. The only thing that exceeds right doing is right being. The only thing, tongue tied this morning, that exceeds right doing is right being right, being righteous because God has made us righteous through Christ. He says down a little further, who can stand in the eternal light of God and have nothing for God to censure or to find fault with? Only the Son of God, and Jesus Christ claims that by his redemption, he can put into any man his own disposition and make him as unsullied and simple as a child. So, obviously, this is just a reminder to us that works, deeds, the law cannot make us righteous. Only Jesus can put that in us, the righteousness that he achieved by fulfilling the law. He fulfilled the law. He takes that righteousness and puts it into us. And I highlighted this because I think it really kind of just gets to the point. Is this first verse or first sentence in the last paragraph? No man can make himself pure by obeying laws. That is one of the biggest challenges of Christianity, is that we think and it never really, I don't think it ever really ceases to haunt us, this notion that I need to be doing the right things to be righteous, and that I need to be obeying the right laws, commands. And it's really interesting that Jesus says, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. But that, we often misconstrue that. It's not by keeping my commandments, you are proving out redemption. It is, if you love me, the fruit is keeping my commandments. The fruit of keeping commandments it's not that the fruit of keeping commandments is righteousness. He's saying, if you love me, if you take the redemptive work that I have fulfilled for you, if you love me, the fruit of that will be keeping my commandments. And we just flip it. We flip it, and because it's our human nature. I have to do something to get something. Do something to get something. And Jesus says, no. When you do something in the kingdom of heaven, when you do something good and right, that's a reflection. That's a fruit of the redemptive work within you. Just a great reminder today. I hope you guys are encouraged. Have a good one.